104. Evie, I'll get you one. Abstract rational equations. So I have 3z over m plus n over e equals f. So m cannot equal 0 because that would give you 0 in the denominator of a fraction, which is not possible. And b cannot equal 0, so they already listed our undefined values right here. And now we're going to solve for b. We're going to solve for b. So we want to get b by itself, which is kind of challenging when it's in the denominator. But first thing we want to do is fraction bust. So we want to get rid of any fractions. So we multiply by the least common multiple, or the common denominator. So m times b. I like to put this over 1, but my common denominator is still mb. So I'm going to put an mb right next to every term, because I'm multiplying every single term by mb. So then in the first fraction, the m's cancel. We multiply those together, and normally we could put the coefficient, the number, in front. So make sure you put the 3 in front, and then bz or zb is the same thing, okay? Plus, now I'm going to cancel the b's on this one, and I get nm. And on the right-hand side, I get fmb. Okay, over 1, which we don't need. So I got rid of all the fractions first. That's always the first step. The next step is to get all your b's on one side, anything that has a b in it on one side, and anything that doesn't have a b in it on the other side, right? So I already have b's on this side. All I need to do is move this one over here with its friends, okay, because it's also got a b in it. So I've got 3bz, and we're going to cancel it by subtracting 3bz from both sides. This goes away. So now I have nm equals fmb minus 3bz. All right. Next step is to factor out the b. Okay. So I've got nm, and on the right-hand side we have a common b. And then if I take out the b, what's left is both of those terms without the b, because we put it in the front. All right, now I'm going to divide by this whole entire thing, because I want to get the b by itself, and now I finally can, by dividing by fm minus 3z. And that is my final answer. Fm minus 3z equals b. And I got b isolated. So just a couple things you might want to write on your notes. First step is to fraction bust. Okay, we're going to fraction bust. Multiply by the common denominator. Second step is to gather the b's together. All right, gather those b's. So put them all on one side and anything else on the other side. Then factor, then divide. Okay, and then you're done. Let's try another one. We're going to solve for m. So we have 3a over y minus, and I would put s over 1, plus k over m equals, and I would put x over 1. First step is to multiply by the common denominator, or the least common multiple of the denominator. So we're going to multiply everything by ym, because these are just ones. So ym next to every single term. So I have a ym, a ym, a ym, and a ym. All right, in this first fraction, what's going to cancel, you guys? The y's. And we want the 3 in front, but those do all multiply together, so I'm going to do 3am. Okay, the next term, nothing cancels because we have a 1 in the bottom, so we get minus sym. And the next term over, what's going to cancel? The m's are going to cancel. So plus ky. And on the right-hand side, we get x, y, m. Okay, now's a good time to check and see what variable we're actually solving for. Alright, so I'm solving for m. Anything that has an m needs to be on the same side. So I have an m here, I have an m here. This guy has an m, we need to move it over here. This one does not have an m, so we need to move it over here. All the m's have to be together, and the other stuff has to go on the other side. So I'm going to subtract x, y, m so that it moves to the left-hand side here. And at the same time, I'm going to subtract the ky so that it is on the opposite side. Bless you. So we have 3am minus sym minus xym equals negative ky. Alright, we're solving for m, so the next step is to factor out that variable that you're solving for. So I'm going to pull out an m from all three of these terms now. So if I take out an m, what's left here? 3a. If I take out an m, what's left here? Minus sy. If I take out an m, what's left here? Minus xy. Good. And now we divide by that whole set of parentheses so that m is now all alone by itself. Okay, so 3a minus sy minus xy. And this goes away, and this goes away. And I now have my final answer. Okay, your answer might be different from the back of the book. So when you're checking your answer, if you would have moved everything to the opposite side, okay, then you could get a different answer. Here's how you check. If you multiply by -1 over -1 on your fraction, this would change that to positive, the 3a to negative, the sy to positive, the xx to positive. So if it changes everything exactly opposite, every single term would be opposite. Okay, that means you got it right. So when you're checking, if it's the same thing where everything is multiplied by a negative, then you still did it correct. All right? Let's try. Do you guys get this? Do you need another one? I feel like that was pretty good. That was all the same. All right, let's try it and see if we got it.